Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this October Monday Messages. It's a bit chilly here, but it's a lovely autumnal day. So I like October, actually. I quite like the autumn and the leaves turning all the beautiful colours that they do and starting to shed and everything starting to slow down a bit. But that's just me. So, welcome to my Monday Messages. For those of you who are not familiar with me, my name's Rebecca. I'm a homeopath, I'm a holistic life coach, and I'm a natural health advocate. And I just pop in here to share any kind of thoughts or principles or simple practices, things that may help all of us to be as conscious as we can of the things that work for us in our lives and the things that may be taking our energy rather than giving energy to us. So today I'm going to talk about two concepts that have been very much brought to the fore in my own life. I can see there's a few people on, so do say hello, make yourselves known. Don't be shy, just give me a thumbs up to make sure that you can hear me. That'll be good. And if you're watching on the replay, then you're equally welcome, and do post any questions or comments or anything you like, experiences, and I will get back to you. Okay, so yeah, two concepts. Very familiar to homeopaths, and that is the concept of the maintaining cause, and the maintaining cause creating or being one of the creators of susceptibility, and how that can play out without us even being aware of it in our health, our physical health, our emotional health, or our spiritual health, or all three. And the reason that it's uppermost in my life at the moment is that last week I managed to tear my intercostal muscles. And for those of you who may not be familiar with where that is, it's basically the little muscles in between your ribs. And although it's nowhere near as painful as cracking or breaking or dislodging an actual rib, I know because I've done that in the past and it's excruciating, it is in the same territory. So it has slowed me down and prevented me from doing a lot of the things that I would normally do. So I wanted to share the process that happened to me. I was actually doing something, I was just lifting something, yes, quite heavy, but not something that I would normally have a problem with. So the first thing I did after I'd stopped doing the lifting, obviously, was I just started asking myself, well, why has this happened? Why now? Why would this have happened at this time? And whilst I was doing that, I called the chiropractor because I wasn't quite sure whether I had damaged my bones or my soft tissue, my muscles. And I needed confirmation of that. So whilst I was taking my remedies, which were helping to a certain degree, I trotted along to the chiropractor and he confirmed what I kind of suspected because, as I say, I'd already broken a rib in the past and I know that kind of pain very well, and I actually wouldn't have been able to drive. Anyway, so he confirmed that it's a torn intercostal muscle. And, part of me knows that that's going to take a little bit of time. But when I asked myself, well, why would this happen now? What factors came together to create that happening for me? And the answer came straight away, and that is that I might have shared this with you, I can't remember, but a while back, at the end of the summer, I had some major dental work done. I had 4 fixed bridges put into my mouth. 3 of them are absolutely perfect. One of them isn't. One of them is not the right height. It needs adjusting. So I'm constantly aware of it in my mouth. I'm biting the side of my cheek. I'm aware that it's giving me a headache from time to time. I can't chew properly. So what's happening is that my whole jaw, my head, my neck, my whole skeleton is trying to adjust to that, trying to manage it, trying to align itself so that things are working as best they can given the circumstances. But it can't resolve it because it's there. It's going to be there until I can get it adjusted, which I am doing, by the way, in a week's time. So that is a maintaining cause. It's something that's there that I can manage. I can make really good choices about managing that situation. I can choose, for example, that obviously for me, I'm not going to be popping paracetamols and various painkillers. Don't get me wrong, I would if it was severe enough. It's not, and I can manage with remedies and with chiropractic work and my particular favourite, which is craniosacral, which I've got booked for this week. And also just from basic, I know that it's really sapping my energy at the moment. So I can't do the same things that I would normally do. I just run out of steam much quicker. So I'm minding myself. And I'm eating good things. I'm doing all the things that I know, using all my tools. That's great. I'm still managing a situation that is constantly maintaining the situation. So that happens a lot in our lives. It doesn't have to be a physical thing, although it is often. It can be, it can be postural. It can be, if you're sitting at the computer all day, every day, are you actually sitting in a way that constantly aggravates your spine, constantly aggravates your internal organs? Because if your spine is compromised, then your internal organs are compromised. Are you continuously eating badly, eating stuff that you know isn't good for you, isn't suiting you in some way? And yes, you can manage that so that it's not making you, absolutely take to your bed and not be able to do anything, but it's still managing it. So there are all kinds of maintaining causes. There are emotional maintaining causes too. We're often in situations where, we're not in the best of relationships. Doesn't have to be intimate relationships, can be friendships as well. We can have quite dysfunctional relationships with work colleagues or bosses or employees or anybody, basically. And we have to spend energy in order to manage those ongoing situations. And that's energy that could be spent elsewhere. It could be spent on true healing, for example. Often when we're taking things like paracetamol and all of those anti-drugs, anti-inflammatories, and all the rest of it. Yes, it's a choice. Yes, we can choose that we can just completely suppress all levels of pain and all the rest of it. There's always a cost to that. So it is a maintaining cause. You're not looking at the real root of the problem, but you're managing it. And sometimes that's perfectly okay. And other situations, that's all we can do short term. But what I wanted to do today was just remind you as much as possible to have a look at those things in your life that might be maintaining causes. Because maintaining causes create susceptibility. They create vulnerability. Because your energy is being taken up with managing something rather than resolving it, then there isn't quite enough energy to spare to be as vigilant, if you like, at aligning yourself, in my case, defending yourself, if you like, against all the other things that come in from our external life, and that can be emotional as well, or spiritual. So I wanted to encourage this week that you maybe do some journaling, or just thinking about what might I be managing rather than resolving in my own life, and how much of my energy does this actually take? Because we could make good choices and go for the least invasive options in order to manage things, but they are still managing rather than resolving. So when you think about that energy and the energy that it takes you to manage something on an ongoing basis, what could that energy be used for if you didn't have to do that? What would your life look like if actually whatever you were managing was resolved, wasn't an issue anymore, and that you could spend that energy on other things, creating other things, whatever that is? How would that make you feel? What kind of life could you visualise for yourself if you weren't managing things? And it sounds like I'm really dissing the ability to manage things. I am really not, because it is a vital tool in our lives, and it's something that as human beings we are really skilled at, I think. For some, the definition of health is the ability to adapt, to make the best of any situation. And it is a very fine line, I think, between positive thinking, having a positive mindset, turning things around, reframing them, doing whatever you can to find the most positive perspective on things. So useful. I use it every day in my life. It is useful, though, to also ask, is that taking up a lot of my energy to do that? Am I constantly having to manage myself in order to put up with or make do with something that's ongoing and that is taking valuable energy from me? And might it be preventing me from leading a different life, from making real positive changes? So that's really what I wanted to encourage, is a bit of kind of reflective practice, if you like, on what maintaining causes might I be inviting into my life, and how is that making me perhaps a little bit more vulnerable, a bit more susceptible to dis-ease, whatever form that dis-ease takes. Whether it's tearing a muscle, or whether it's just feeling really tired all the time, or whether it's getting coughs and colds, things like that, constantly. Yeah, so that's it. I hope that makes sense. If that concept is resonating with you, or if it's new to you, I'd love to hear, actually. So yeah, just pop a comment in the thread below, yes or no, basically. Does it make sense or not? Anyway, have a lovely week, and do let me know how you get on. Okay, take care.